What up guys, Miguel here from Tech, and if you thought the TECNO Pova 5 Pro was a looker, get a load of this year's TECNO Pova 6 Pro, a smartphone made with mobile gamers in mind who need a capable handset at an affordable cost. And if it's a better version of last year's iteration, it's definitely worth considering. Let's dive in. The TECNO Pova 6 Pro builds upon the design cues of its predecessor. Our review unit is in the Comet Green colorway, and it really reminds me a lot of Pokemon Emerald for some reason. It's also available in Meteorite Gray if potential buyers want a more muted color, but either way, any of the colorways will feature this very chromed up aesthetic, so if users wanted a stealthier look, they would most likely just skin the phone or put a case without a clear back on the phone because the included case in the box is of the clear variety. But it's kind of cool that, the sides are green too. But for the most part, we like the rear panel of the TECNO Pova 6 Pro for its uniqueness. It still features dynamic lighting effects that react to when users play music, take calls, receive notifications, and more. Albeit it has shrunk in size, but it is a lot brighter and is no longer RGB. Part of the lighting is even around one of these camera sensors, which is definitely new. Both areas can be toggled on or off, and the animation pattern is customizable in the settings menu. The rear panel itself is full of design motifs that highlight the Pova 6 Pro's features like NFC, the 6000 mAh battery, and the number 6 to remind everyone that this is the 6th iteration in the series. The frame of the phone is made out of this glossy finished polycarbonate material, and situated on the right side are the volume control and power buttons. On the left side is the dual nano SIM card tray that also gets a micro SD card slot for expandable storage. Up top is an infrared sensor for using the Pova 6 Pro as a universal remote control, 1 out of 2 stereo speaker drivers, and a noise-canceling microphone. At the bottom of the phone is a 3.5mm audio jack, another noise-canceling microphone, a USB Type-C port for charging and wired data transfers, and another speaker grill that features 2 out of 2 stereo speakers. The TECNO Pova 6 Pro also gets an IP53 water and dust resistance rating for accidental spills and protection from the rain. The Pova 6 Pro sports a 6.78-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display that also features a refresh rate users can adjust between 60, 90, and 120 Hz, or, they can just leave it in auto switch mode. It also gets a touch sampling rate of 1500 Hz and a peak brightness of 1300 nits. Just make sure to toggle high brightness mode if you plan to use it outdoors. The phone also features the TÜV Rheinland low blue light certification to give end users peace of mind for, like flickery screens and overly blue light screen. It's all good there. For the most part, it's a good display that outputs accurate colors with 100% coverage of the DCI-P3 color space. And it's a bonus that they've also shrunken the bezels here compared to the 5 Pro from last year. What's a little annoying is the resolution at 2436 by 1080. Well, I think it's the resolution. Whatever it is, it's really noticeable when watching YouTube videos and they autoplay at like 360 or 480p. Something about it just isn't as crisp as other Full HD Plus AMOLED panels, even when turning it up to a higher resolution. Of course, watching the video at 1440p or something mitigates what I'm talking about, but like when I put it side by side with another Full HD Plus AMOLED panel at the same resolution on YouTube, the same video, something about the Pova 6 Pro's display just isn't as crisp for some reason. It isn't a complete deal breaker, as I've already binge watched a bunch of solo leveling on the Pova 6 Pro, but it's definitely noticeable, especially in YouTube. Now, its stereo speakers aren't the best either, but just like last year, they do get loud enough to fill a small room. The highs mostly come out of the bottom speaker driver, and the mids and lackluster low ends come out up top. It's weird. I mean, I thought it was weird, but you do get used to it when you're already like watching a bunch of stuff on it. So yeah. It can be a little jarring at first, but I also wouldn't say it's a deal breaker considering how much we think the device will cost. For biometrics, the TECNO Pova 6 Pro features an optical in-display fingerprint sensor, and for the time I've had it, it recognizes any of my registered fingerprints flawlessly. We also get face unlock with the selfie camera under the display as well, but I personally don't use it as much. But I'm happy to report it works great in good to less than favorable lighting conditions. For optics, the TECNO Pova 6 Pro features a triple camera setup, wink wink, at the rear, headlined by a 108 megapixel main sensor that features electronic image stabilization, followed by a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and this third sensor that also gets the dynamic lighting around it is the AI camera sensor that also provides additional depth information. In front, it features a 32 megapixel camera sensor. What's cool here is we also get a sneaky front LED flash for selfies hidden in the top right corner within the bezel. In general, photos actually come out nice with good detail and sharpness, considering the main 108 megapixel camera sensor does all the heavy lifting. The AI camera features are actually also quite helpful, but might stir more conventional photographers away with its done-for-you approach. Check out our sample photos on screen. For video, the Pova 6 Pro can shoot at a max resolution of 2K at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 30 and 60 frames per second with the 108 megapixel camera at the rear and the 32 megapixel camera in front. For software, the TECNO Pova 6 Pro comes with Android 14 out of the box, skinned with iOS 14 on top. iOS 14 is a quirky user interface for calling its home screen a desktop, and brings a couple of cool gaming-focused optimizers like GameSpace 4.0 and Game Assistant 4.0. GameSpace 4.0 allows users to run games in their selected performance mode and monitors CPU and GPU performance and more. Game Assistant 4.0 is like GameSpace 4.0, but end users can access the toolbar by swiping from the side of the screen when in-game. iOS 14 also brings about new live wallpapers and new icon designs. We even get easy access to the IR remote control app because TECNO wants everyone to remember not to panic when they can't find a remote, especially when they have the TECNO Pova 6 Pro. The brains behind the Pova 6 Pro's operations is a MediaTek Dimensity 6080 chipset, just like last year. This is somewhat of a letdown, especially if you're looking to upgrade from last year's Pova 5 Pro. But in hindsight, we don't think this phone is for you if you already own last year's iteration. So the Dimensity 6080 5G is a 6nm SoC that features an octa-core CPU capable of 2.4 GHz clock speeds and a Mali G57 MC2 GPU. It's configured with 12 GB of onboard memory and 256 GB of internal storage. Memory is expandable to up to another 24 GB with MEMFusion enabled, while internal storage can be expanded via the dedicated microSD card slot. When it came to running most apps and games like Genshin Impact and Mobile Legends, the TECNO Pova 6 Pro did not flinch as long as Wi-Fi or data connectivity was flawless. So no major complaints here. For those of you interested in our synthetic benchmark scores, flashing them on screen now. Powering the TECNO Pova 6 Pro is a huge 6,000 mAh battery, which is bigger than last year's. But what's crazy is the Pova 6 Pro is still 17 grams lighter despite the bigger capacity. It also features a faster 70-watt wired charging, allowing users to charge up from 0 to 50% in about 20 minutes, and to full in less than an hour. In our PC Mark Work 3.0 battery life test, the device garnered a result of
14 hours and 12 minutes.
This was with the phone set to airplane mode, volume muted, and brightness set to 50% to account for mixed usage variables. With the same conditions in our standard video loop test, it lasted
15 hours and 20 minutes.
For connectivity, we get up to 5G connectivity for both SIM slots, dual-band Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth 5.3. We didn't really notice any issues in call quality, so it's safe to say the phone essentials are covered. In conclusion, the TECNO Pova 6 Pro is a great mid-range gaming phone that's definitely worth considering if you cherish a unique design aesthetic with good performance. The picture quality that comes from its camera system is also surprisingly good as well. And at the time this video was recorded, we have not received official pricing as of yet. But if it's anything like last year's TECNO Pova 5 Pro, it should start at less than 15,000 pesos. So, what do you guys think of the TECNO Pova 6 Pro? Is this enough of an update to entice you guys to check it out? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video or found it informative or educational, be sure to smack that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon so you get notified of our future uploads. Be sure to visit yugatech.com and follow us on our socials. That is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been Miguel, and I'll see ya in the next one. Cheers.